Now more than ever, in the era of streaming, people are interested in hearing about true crime stories. The question then becomes, what is it about today's true crime shows that continue to captivate audiences? Some of the most shocking turns in criminal history are listed below. And in case you hadn't figured it out already, this article is full of spoilers for a wide variety of true crime documentaries. The Golden State Killer is finally caught. The Golden State Killer is considered to be one of the most infamous serial killers in the history of the U.S. The violent spree of criminal activity started in 1976 with a string of more than 40 rapes that were committed over the course of 3 years. After such a long period of time had passed, the majority of people who had been following the case believed that any possibility of capturing the serial killer had passed. In 2018, however, the news broke that the Golden State Killer had been apprehended at long last and that his name was Joseph James. This information was shared by various news outlets. In 2020, D'Angelo entered a guilty plea on multiple charges, including the murder of 13 victims and kidnapping of 13 victims. Sally Clark's miscarriage of justice. After being found guilty of murdering 2 of her 3 children, both of whom were infants at the time of their deaths in November 1999, Sally Clark, a solicitor and mother in her mid-30s, became a tabloid figure of hate in her native UK. According to Clark, cot death was the cause of death for both babies. However, Clark faced charges of murder for the alleged smothering of 11-week-old Christopher in December 1996 and the fatal shaking of 8-week-old Harry 14 months later. Clark was found guilty of double murder after testimony from Professor Sir Roy Meadow, who testified that the odds of 2 identical cot deaths were 1 in 73 million. She received 2 life sentences. Clark filed an appeal the following year, but it was denied. In 2003, after experts revealed that Meadow's numbers were inflated and bogus, she was finally released from prison. A member of Clark's legal team, John Batt, was quoted in The Guardian as saying, "Try to picture yourself in a prison where everyone looks down on you like you're the lowest form of life. The meat of the matter is that she wasted 5 or 6 years of her life on torture authorized by the state." The murder of Sherry Rasmussen. A nurse of some note, Sherry Rasmussen was a young married woman. She was only in her late 20s when she became director of the Glendale Adventist Medical Center in Los Angeles and a widely sought-after lecturer and consultant in her field. Rasmussen was found dead in her Van Nuys home on February 24, 1986, by her husband, John Rutan. All signs pointed to a violent struggle leading up to her murder, as she had been shot 3 times and severely beaten. Homicide detective Lyle Mayer told Rutan after an initial investigation that his home had been burglarized and that Rasmussen must have encountered the intruders while they were emptying the house of valuable electronic equipment, leading to the confrontation. When Rasmussen died, Rutan was so devastated that he left his job and Los Angeles. Rasmussen's stolen BMW yielded no evidence, and the investigation was abandoned. That's how it would stay for the next 23 years. As reported by the same source in 2009, LA police spoke with pictured officer Stephanie Lazarus, who had been with the department since 1983. Lazarus, an ex-girlfriend of Rutan's, disapproved of his marriage to Rasmussen. At long last, it was revealed that Lazarus had murdered Rasmussen out of jealousy after months of stalking the newlyweds and attempting to cover up the crime as a result of a botched burglary. Lazarus received his sentence of 27 years to life in prison in 2012. The kidnapping of Stephen Stainer. Stephen Stainer disappeared on December 4, 1972, near his Merced, California home. As the years passed, it seemed he'd vanished without a trace, another missing child. In February 1980, Stainer appeared at a Ukiah police station with 5-year-old Timmy White. Stainer told police he was abducted by predatory pedophile Kenneth Parnell, who had been in San Quentin for molesting a child in the 1950s. Stainer lived a normal life with Parnell, attending school and playing sports. Parnell told him his family could no longer care for him and that he had custody. Stainer died in a motorcycle accident at 24 in 1989. This is it, everyone. So what do you think? Leave a comment and let us know. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done that. Also, put on the notification because the next video is going to be a great one.